Well, hello everybody, welcome to different sort of video. I thought I would upload a video today marking the 10th anniversary of Minecraft. I don't know, it's debatable as to when the 10th anniversary really is, but today, 13th of May 2019, marks 10 years since Notch first uploaded a video. I think it was Notch uploaded a video to YouTube detailing the game that he was working on, which was Cave Game, that would eventually go on to be Minecraft. That was 10 years ago. I think the first public version wasn't released until the 17th of May, from what the wiki said, and obviously the official game didn't come out until late 2011. So yeah, it's kind of debatable as to when the game really, you can count it as an anniversary. But basically, it's been 10 years since Minecraft has been in the public eye, really. The original video no longer exists, unfortunately. With Notch's lack of participation in Mojang, well, obviously because he sold the company and everything like that, and he was no longer a part of it, it's easy to see why he may have taken the video down, but there are copies of the video still available on YouTube. And one of them had the original date, and it was the 13th, and that checks out with this version that I'm playing in at the moment. This is, gosh, I don't remember, but it was RD something or other with a list of numbers. I might include it on screen if I remember, but this was the first version listed in the launcher that I was using, and the date that it came under was the 13th of May 2009, which was obviously 10 years ago. So this was potentially the version that he was playing in during the first video. Now, it's not going to be a history of Minecraft. Obviously, I've got my James's Minecraft Journey series, and that is going through the Minecraft updates, and it's nice that kind of intersects with the 10-year anniversary. But what I'm planning to do is to go through some of my worlds and really just show them off. Maybe talk a bit about the game, but I'll leave others. There's other people that have made videos about, how the game's changed and the history and all that. And it's one of these massive subjects that there's so much to it. There's the community aspect, there's the development aspect, there's the way that it's impacted the world in ways that maybe people didn't think was possible. So there's so much to it that, if anyone ever makes a full-on documentary, then fair play. I'm sure there have been documentaries made, but even they probably only scratch the surface. Because there's things like, there's all sorts of communities within Minecraft that probably wouldn't get the recognition in such a documentary, like for example the ultra hardcore community, or 2B2T, or things like that. And obviously various projects around the world that have been developed as a result of this game. There's so much to it, but I'm not going to try and do it justice here. All I'm going to do is there's one or two old versions I want to take a look at, partly because I never looked at them during episode 0 of my Journey series, partly just for interest's sake, and then we'll have a look at some of my other worlds. We won't have a look at them all because obviously if you watched my I think it was episode 75 of my Journey series, I looked at my progress game world, so obviously I won't be looking at that. But we'll have a look at one or two old ones, and we'll see what's going on in them. But yeah, this is the one of the oldest development versions available to the public. And if you've watched my episode 0 of my Journey series, you'll know that you've got to right click to break, left click to place. It's an interesting version. Anyway, yeah, let's move on and look at the next version. Okay, welcome to Minecraft 4K. This is the 4K version of Minecraft. Basically, it was developed, it was released, it says, on the 2nd of December. And it's more limited than any other version of Minecraft because it was developed for the Java 4K contest, which meant you had to create a game that was only a maximum of 4096 bytes, which is 4 kilobytes, I think. You can still move around, you can jump, but you might be able to see my mouse. Oh, you don't see my mouse on screen, which is interesting. But basically, my mouse is on screen, so the camera's moving very slowly. It's like you've got smooth cam on. The player movements are well, you can't move from side to side, it looks like. You can only move forwards or backwards. And yeah, it's still right click to break, left click to place. You can only place one block, which is interesting. Can you pull it up? You can pull it up. I'm guessing it's creative, or not creative mode, but I'm guessing because there was no survival. Yeah, it's very much a limited version of the game. Does it count as a game if you can't really do much in it? It's actually freezing quite a bit now. But yeah, this is Minecraft 4K. This is the first time I've ever actually played it. Well, played, quote unquote. You know, I'm taking a look at it, so I guess that counts. You can recognise some of the blocks here. We've got leaves, we've got dirt, we've got grass, we've got bricks, stone, the logs, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was clearly a limited competition in the sense that there's a limit to what you can do with just 4 bytes. But yeah, this is it, Minecraft 4K. Obviously, yeah, it doesn't mean 4K in the sense of today that is, you know, 4K screen resolution. It's, yeah, completely different from that. But it looks pretty cool. Is this the edge of the world? Have we reached the edge of the world? Looks like it. Wonder what happens if we jump in. Oh, we can't. There is an invisible border. Jeez, this camera's so difficult to control. Right, yeah. Anyway, there you go. There you have it. Minecraft 4K. This was actually when I first developed the idea of having a storage room up here that was immediately accessible with all the basic stuff that you would need, and then have an excess storage room that would be more particular. It would have particular items, and this was off the back of one of the worlds I made back in the day. It had the worst storage room of all time. You might see that later in this video. But yeah, I'll just run around showing off one or two of the things here. This is an old flower farm that's basically redundant. It works using bone meal basically. We've got a tree farm up here, which I think looks pretty nice. It's got all of the classic tree, well, when I say classic trees, obviously oak's classic, and then it was just oak, birch and spruce at one point, and then jungle was added in 1.1 or 1.2. I think it was 1.2, or maybe it was 1.1. Either way, jungle was added, and this is the 4 that I've got here. There's no acacia, no dark oak, because that was only added in 1.7. The last version I played this world in was 1.7.4. Late 2013, early 2014 was when I played this world last, when I last properly played it, as in when I last actually did stuff in it. We've got a zombie spawn over there. Don't need to show that off because I built plenty of zombie grinders in my time playing this game. If we go down here, I just want to show this off because it's classic. This is proof that I've made the same exact mob system everywhere, even in my first world. And everyone's having a good old fight there, so we'll just leave them to it. This was probably the... This is just a backup, so I wouldn't worry. This is probably the world I was in. Yeah, in fact, this was the world I was playing in when 1.5 came out, and we got hoppers, which was a lifesaver, because before that, you had to go down and manually pick up the items, which was annoying. And there's another one that's taking a scadge at someone. There's nothing behind these hedges, by the way. It's just grass. Then we've got a bunch of farms over here. This is a firework place. Come on, let's just watch a few fireworks go off. Why not? Hey! Alright, fun's over. Time to go. Right. How cool. What's that? Chicken shack. That's my house. That's my legit house that I built. Totally did not copy this from anywhere. It's completely my design. Don't actually remember where I copied it from, but yep, whoever first made it, thank you. I like the garden though. It's a pretty nice garden. There's a horse area over there. What if we've got any horses? And it's turning night. Classic. We do have 1 or 2 horses. I don't remember which is the fastest one, but this chap seems pretty fast. Right, what do we have? We have an aquarium with a squid in there. This was obviously before 1.13. This world has never been upgraded to 1.8, so I don't see it going beyond the current version anytime soon, and thereby it won't reach 1.13, where we'll be able to make aquariums, actual aquariums with fish and all that. What have we got here? That was a storage area. Oh, that was a canal. I've never built a canal before, but that was a canal that I just built. And oh yeah, and this is the museum. as you can see. Questionable design. I like the creeper face though. Maybe that was foreshadowing 00 of my journal world. This, by the way, was actually where I made my first house. So I might have told you, or I did tell you at the start of this tour, that I originally played in this world, did a bunch of stuff, went away, came back, got rid of all the stuff I did, or almost all the stuff I did. That stuff actually happened around here. This was where my first house was built, but obviously that was ripped out. And the staircase here shows this was where I first went down, like to look for stone and stuff. It got obviously transformed into a staircase, and this was where my first mob system was, I think. And as you can see, we've got, well, this is, as I said, museum. We've got all the villager types. That's pretty cool. Of course, these are the old villagers. The old 1.7 villagers that were interesting to work with. And this is a map of our world. As you can see, there's not much else. The only thing... that was a villager breeding thing, so we don't need to go to that. Pretty boring stuff. This is all just... oh, that was an ice farm up there. That was a road that went somewhere else. That was a road that went to my 1.7 area, because I had this 1.7 area that was 1.7 biomes. And so that's where that road goes. We won't go down there. It takes a good 5-10 minutes to go down with a horse. If we go down a bit further, that will take us to where the mob system was. Was this where the mob system was? Oh, this was where a rail track used to be. This is where... yeah, I remember this. I'm stunned I remember this, but I used to have a minecart station and then rails would go there. I don't know where they would go to. I'm trying to think what's in that direction. Probably not much. Not much that's interesting. Ah, here we go. They were way down here. Yeah, this is where my mob system used to be. But as you can see, nothing anymore. Oh, hello. Is this actually my old mob system? I thought my old mob system was higher up. This could be history. Or historical. I didn't know this still existed. It seems like I hadn't finished making it. Oh, no, I tell you what this was. So I don't think I'd actually made a mob system. I think when I started playing the game, I was like, oh, I'm not going to use any tutorials. So I started trying to build somewhat of a mob system down here. Then figured I had no clue what I was doing. So I started looking at tutorials and I was advised that I should build it higher up. So that's why we're down at Y9. And I decided not to build it here. Also because I kept running into bedrock. And that kept, you know, stalling progress. But this is like a lookout area where you could look in at the mobs and all that. So yeah, this is kind of historical in some ways. You know, this stone, this cobble would have been placed in my early stages of playing this game. Like, after the demo, obviously. I mean, I still count the demo as a legit period, even if I couldn't play the same world for more than 100 minutes. So I mentioned that I got rid of pretty much all the stuff that I originally did in this world. In the first kind of month I played. It wasn't a long period of time that I played. It was basically just a few houses, my own mob system, and one or two things. It wasn't like getting rid of huge builds or whatever. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But this, apart from that mob system that I just showed off there, that wasn't really complete, so I wouldn't count it as something that I did. But this that I'm about to show is the oldest thing that I still have that I did in this game. Obviously I don't have anything from the demo world because you had to delete that world in order to play it again. But this fortress here is the oldest thing that I did in this game that still exists, I think. And you can tell I was going more for functionality with all these walls than actual aesthetic prowess. I was basically just trying to protect myself from ghasts. Some of this has been extended, some of it has been done up since I first built it. It's kind of like a castle that you see that was, you know, built around the medieval times, but they've since kind of done it up to make it last a bit longer. That's effectively what I've done here, but by and large most of it was you know, 2012-esque. So yeah, pretty cool. And also this was my first ever nether portal that generated in two places because there was a bug at the time that meant that happened. And yeah, it was disabled by a creeper. Okay, I'm actually interested. I completely forgot that I built a witch farm in this world. So we're going to go and check that out. Oh, and of course there was a second minecart. Alright, so this will be interesting. Yeah, loads of storage. Loads of storage. Interesting stuff. Right, what else? I mean, I could have maybe made this a bit more compact, but whatever. Where's the actual witch items though? That's what I want to know. They're probably all still up here. This is incredible. What did it actually look like? Oh yeah, just like any other witch farm. And none are spawning. What difficulty? We're on hard difficulty as well. Well, I created a perimeter. That's probably where most of the blocks came from. Ah, it is working. Yep, witches are spawning. Nice. Alright, pleasantly surprised, but there you go. Alright, welcome to my main world. This was the second world I generated in this game. The seed is that. It was generated in 1.3, I think. I actually generated this, the update after I first got the game. And this is a rocket area, which, if we turn it to peaceful, should work a little bit better. I shouldn't get blown up. Although, I've seen this go wrong before. Hey, okay, yeah, so this is a rocket area. Do I have any armour around? I'm sure I must have armour around. Yeah, so basically, this world, I played my first world for a bit of time, and then I decided to make a new world, and this was that new world that I played in for probably the latter half of 2012, maybe about 2-3 months maybe. But yeah, I decided to build the moon, which works a lot better when you're on a smaller render distance and you've got fog and you can't see up there, but yeah, no chance here. We can clearly see where we're going. Yeah, so this was my galactic craft of the time. You know what, I can't be bothered climbing up there, so we'll go to Mars instead. Yeah, that is Mars, believe it or not. Such a vivid imagination. I've built rockets in not most of the worlds I've played in, but quite a bit. I'd be surprised if I don't die, to be honest. Hey! Oh, I missed it. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, we're going to try that again. Alright, let's go for it again. Hey! Oh, what? No way. That's the second time I've hit the rim. Alright, third and final time. Let's stand here. Hey! Whoa! Okay, this could be the end of it, but I'm going to try and land in the water here. Look how high I went, man. Jeez. I wish I'd checked the F3. I mean, we went above the world build limit. There's no question about that. But yeah, welcome to Mars. Very underwhelming. I still haven't reached Mars in my Galacticraft world. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Right, let's go back to Earth. We've had our fun. This is the return rocket. I know, very underwhelming. Alright. Oh, we could jump all the way over to the moon if I can move fast enough. Nope. Nope. Okay, looks like we're just gonna plummet. Anyway, that's good. Oh no, we slept here. Oh, that's annoying. Right, I've turned it to hard difficulty. We're gonna see what happens if I do the whole TNT thing. We won't have enough, I don't think. Yeah, we don't have enough. We don't have nearly enough. Well, let's see what happens then, shall we? Okay, anyway. Back to the spawn point. So, yeah, this is a plains biome. I'm not sure if I searched for a seed for this or not. I'm guessing I did. This was... It's not a world I remember fondly. I mean, it comes at a time when my building style was very primitive. For example, that is a castle over there. This is a bridge using just one colour of blocks, one type of block really. What else? This village is not like a real NPC village. I completely built it from scratch. My building style was so bad that even the randomly generated structures looked nicer than whatever I could come up with. And so that's why I decided just to copy an NPC village and move a bunch of villagers in. It looks kind of cool. It's kind of a unique thing. As you can see, we've got a guy here that's having a good swim in the water. Got an iron golem. Tank unit. Oh, he's bad. He is bad. This is the worst storage room ever. This is why I build storage rooms the way I do now. Is because in this one I had a chest for every item. Now this was obviously back in 1.3 when there was less items than there are now. However, as you can see, I had one room for each. Today I would have like a chest for transport, chest for food, a chest for stored items, but here I had a whole room dedicated to it. And as you can see, some chests have barely anything in it. I think I was actually trying to fill the chests up at one point so that they would actually have stuff in them, which is a terrible idea because you might use a bunch of cobble on stone bricks, a bunch of cobble on making slabs, and then figuring out you actually needed the cobble in the first place. But there you go. Nether portal. Oh, what's that? Hey, mob system. Classic mob system that I've made 100 times over. Oh yeah. Haha, fake nether, get trolled. There's my brewing setup. Where is the place I'm looking for? What's down here? Well, that's where you get the... I mean, that is pretty cool and all, but I'm trying to find what I'm looking for. What? Ah, it's down here. So if you go along here, that was overload storage. This was the quick kit, copied from Etho, obviously. Yeah, I copied a lot from Etho in this world. I mean, I copy a lot from Etho anyway. Right, the final thing I want to show off, and I've showed this off before. Some of you may remember it, some this might be new. Basically, I built a huge city in my journal world. That all started here. That's a castle over there. It looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah, no, this was at the start of a city. As you can see, we've got the city wall, the gate, everything like that. The canal was even stopped so that I could build here. But I only got 1 or 2 things done. I didn't even get the wall finished. All we've got is a bit of a poor inn. Look at that. It looks pretty poor, doesn't it? But it looks like a pretty cool area. I kind of wish we'd managed to get it finished. One of the things I wish I had in my city, in my journal world, was a bit of a water feature. We never really had that. I kind of avoided water features, much to my regret. But yeah, we had a bit of a lake here which we could have built a port in or something. Port. I'm Scottish. You don't pronounce your T's in Scotland. No, you do. JK. Anyway, that is about it. Also, in my first world I showed off before, I did attempt a city build, but it's not worth showing it. I'll go and look at it myself later, but... I know, how about I'll go look at it later and I'll put a screenshot of what that looks like on screen now. And that was my second attempt at building a city. Then I finally did it in my journal world, so all good. Oh, we've got a beacon here which gives us haste. So this is a world I've never shown on the internet before. It's a redstone based world. I don't even remember what version it was from. I just loaded it up on 1.7 because I happen to have that jar opened at the moment. Basically, the reason for this was... It was partly a test world. Oh no, I can't get out now. Oh, I can because it's creative. Oh yeah, I should say that both my main world and my first world, they were survival worlds. I didn't cheat, I didn't spawn anything in or anything like that. All the items there were legit. This is a creative world, which means all these items are not legit, but that's by the by. I think it was partly a test world, partly something to kind of save redstone things and gates and concepts. For example, wait, what's this? Null pre 1.3 repeaters. What? I'm guessing this is supposed to show off a pre 1.3 repeater, which you can see over there. And by pre 1.3, I think they mean pre beta 1.3. Because repeaters came out in beta 1.3. These are just a bunch of gates. So we've got an OR gate. Yep, either or. This is a NOT gate. Turn it off and it goes up. Cool. This is an AND gate. Brilliant. What's this? A NOR gate. Cool. And this is a NAND gate, which means... Oh, it's basically a negative of an AND gate. This, though, this is an XOR gate. I've used this a lot. Basically, just flicking levers switches the state. It's great. I've used that a lot in my time playing this game. That was probably just to make me laugh. Probably just clocks of various sorts. Oh, this was to test the piping, dropper pipes and all that. So I've used that quite a bit. I mean, it's a common concept, everyone knows it, but this was me trying to figure it out for myself. No, this is probably similar to that, but on a different level. So I loaded this world up. This was a world that I'm sure I've shown off before. I'll just show it off real quick. This was a world that I just played briefly one summer. It was a survival island. Like, this is my survival island world. So you know, I'm currently at time of recording, I'm uploading a Skyblock world. I've done things like Super Flat World with Zenger. I've done Skygrid with RSG. This was my survival island world. I don't think I ventured off the island. Although, as I said, I had a shorter render distance at the time. Probably couldn't see that island there. Or those islands over there. But the point is, I built this all from stuff that was on this island. Not bad. Just have a brief look inside, I guess. Carpets. I don't... It looks so bad with the... Hang on, I probably had particles off. Yeah, there we go. So I probably played on minimal particles where you couldn't see the torch particles coming up through the carpets. But there you go, 2 bedrooms, a storage area, which is pretty cool. How many diamonds did we have? Oh, we had some books. Efficiency and sharpness. I actually went to the nether as well, and up here we've got brewing. We've got an enchanting table, as you do. So yeah, this was effectively my survival island world. It's one of these ones I would have done it. Well, I did it just for fun, but it's nice to have done it just to say that I have done it. As I said, didn't venture to any other islands. Just ignore that crafting table over there. It means nothing. Anyway, the house doesn't look too bad either. Depending on if you're short-sighted or what. Maybe it probably looks good if you play on like 2 render distance. No, it looks exactly the same. So now we've moved on to 1.8. We're going to look at worlds that came from around this time. I should say I have actually legitimately played 1.7 this year. I've played a number of 1.7 UCs, although that's no surprise or no big feat given the fact that I've legitimately played Alpha 1.1 this year. But that's by the by. Anyway, this is a creative world that I used for... I'm not sure how long. It might well have been from the early part of the game all the way up to around about 1.8 time. But there's 1 or 2 things that I can identify. For example, that is a blueprint for the wall that I built in my journal world for the city wall. This is, obviously it's a lot smaller, but it was just to get an idea of the shape and the layout. Over here, this looks like a bit of a storage area. Couldn't tell you where this build actually was in any world. And I don't even know how to get into it. I'm going to try and remember, but... Oh! No, it's gone. I do not know where I built this. But it looks pretty cool. Whatever it is. As you can see, there's a lot of holes in the grounds. A lot of holes in the ground, I should say. Basically just mucking about with TNT. That was probably where I tested beacons out. That was from a build from RSG, the RSG server. This was all for my spawn area. That was my portal room. Does that look better than my current portal room in my journal world? Sort of. It sort of looks better in some ways. No idea what that is. But yeah, this just gives you an idea of... Yeah, I was just mucking about. Do you know what I think this is? I think I was testing to see whether I could build a sky base or not and get rid of the pillar. So... I was trying to test efficient ways of getting rid of a pillar, you know, things like using gravel and things like that. This was probably for the walls. This was probably back in my walls days. Maybe not, maybe I'm just havering. But I remember building a sky base like that back in my walls days, and I actually won the game through camping the whole time. That was testing the Eat Shroud, or versions of the Eat Shroud that I'd seen Etho do. What else? What else do we have? Random walls. That was probably a rocket, testing the rocket. That was definitely for my first world. You saw how many jack-o'-lanterns I had in that world. That was definitely for my first world. That's actually nice. A compact smelting area. Scarecrow and the like. Yeah, this is the house that I built in my first world. Maybe it was built by me, I don't know. Maybe I just, maybe I developed it myself. I'd be surprised if I did, but it's, you know, it's possible. No idea what this is. Probably just some random house. But yeah, the point is there's just a whole load of stuff going on here. Random little projects. Maybe you've not seen it before. I actually do have another creative world that I didn't use as much, or I didn't use at all, and I've actually forgotten what's in it. And it's actually crashed, so yeah, I guess we'll be looking at that world. Alright, we're on 1.12 now. Hopefully this will work. Let's see, so that was that was last played in 1.10. And Creative Test World was last played in 1.12.1. That makes sense as to why it crashed in 1.8. I underestimated the versions that we played of this. Whoa! Okay, yeah, I remember this. Yeah, so this is where I developed the auto brewing system that you see in my journal world. Yes, no wonder it was made in such a late version. Oh, this was my base on Prolific SMP that was on for a brief period of time. A bit of an arena. Daft idea, but I mean, whatever, not much I can do now. Oh, that actually looks cool. I wonder if I made that, because I remember Sneaky made a video where he'd built my skin in the game, and maybe I tried to copy it, or maybe this was for something else. It's only a 2D version though, so it's not as good as his. Got a target there. Creeper being sick. I'm kidding. That was for my Journal City area. Minecraft faces. Oh look, there's Zenger. Nice. Zenger and Zisto. Alliteration. I've built more than enough arenas in this game. I need to stop. I'm addicted to building arenas in Minecraft. Oh, that was my pumpkin farm. Bit of a rainbow there. That was probably for the Enderman farm. Oh, what's this? Oh, a staircase with beds. Nice. That's actually cool. Anyway, yeah, so I did use this world a fair bit. Anyhow, let's get on to the RSG server, which was last opened in 1.10, it looks like. Yeah, so this world's 4 times the size of my journal worlds, which there was, I would estimate, about at least 10, maybe 12, maybe more players on this server in total. Not at one time. At one time there was probably only about 5 or 6 max, but in total there was probably as much as 12, maybe more players. And that's probably why it's got a size of about 4 gigabytes. But yeah, loads of good memories on this server, and 100 odd episodes on my channel. But yeah, and obviously not all this was built by myself. Some was built by other people that are better builders than me, and all that sort of stuff. And we've actually got all the beacons again, similar to my first world. So yeah, this world started, we're talking around about April 2014, and we probably last played in it around about, I want to say 2016, but it might have been 2015. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I said to someone, oh yeah, this world had been going for 3 years, but I don't think it was as long as 3 years. I think it was a year and a half, 2 years at most. Maybe longer, I don't know. Maybe I've underestimated that. Anyway, let's pick up an advancement. So yeah, this was last played in 1.10, it looks like, according to the well, this is the backup that I sent to the guys after it shut down. Dolmo was the original owner, and then it moved on to me. I had a Realm Worlds that I used for it for a time. So yeah, honestly, maybe I should just do a separate video on the server, because it's really unique. Lots to it. If you want, I will do another world tour of this, showing off every little aspect of it, reliving memories. But I don't really have time to go through it all today, unfortunately. But there you go. You can kind of get a bit of a flavour as to what it's like here. And yeah, maybe another time I will do another tour. Well, it's great. It's good to be back. Okay, so this is a bit of an interesting one. This is Expanse SMP. This was an SMP I had for, I want to say, about a month or two. It was a classic, you know. SMP lasts for, you know, it really lasts for a week, but then you know, it stays up with no one on it for a long time after that. But this was done around about 2016 time. So yeah, there was a bunch of people on it. Mr. Lagalot was on it, someone that I used to know. It was a guy from Australia, actually, King Curtis. He was the one that kind of egged me on to make it and all that, and he played on it a bit. That was my house down there. That was King Curtis's house right behind. This is Mr. Lagalot's kind of like sky base. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Lots went on. This is the spawn point, built out of creative mode, I should say. Not out of creative mode. That was the wrong wording. It was built in survival mode. So, I mean, it's not the greatest spawn ever, but I thought it was alright. Someone had a horse. There was actually a lot of people. Wait, what's that guy's name? Mr. Horse-a-lot. Oh, I will ride Mr. Lagalot's horse. I'm presuming it's his horse. There was actually more people on it than I remember, because there was, you know, friends invited friends and they invited friends, so there probably wasn't more than 10 people in total, maybe 10 at most. But yeah, there was a good group on for the month. It was 2016, as I said. This actually started in 1.8, I believe, and it went. The last time I played it was 1.10. It looked like. So, oh, look at that, not Chapel. Nom 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 nom. Right, but anyway, yeah, the last time. Oh, we should have fed it to the horse. Darn it. I should load a backup. We'll feed a bunch of gapples to the horse then. Hey, does he not want any more? Nope, he's had his share of gapples. Yeah, so it started at 1.8. It was on Realms, and obviously Realms updates instantly. So as soon as a new update comes out, you get the new update. And 1.9 came out. Obviously, the second most controversial update of all time. And yeah, that's we played in that in this world. So yeah, it's. I don't have too many memories from it, but obviously stuff got done. For example, we got the skull that I think Mr. Lagalot built. This was my house, as I said. That was Mr. Lagalot's sky base. I asked him to leave a gap around the spawn so that no one would spawn in his sky base, which he duly did, and he just went and built around it, which is fair enough. This must be how you get up to the viewing area. Not there. Hey, this is the viewing area. I've got one ender pearl, so we can maybe pearl up to the top area. But that's nice. That's not too bad. Not too bad of a view. Whoa. Let's see what's all the way up here. Not an awful lot. But again, though, nice view. This is obviously the way of getting all the way up. I did not remember there was something over there. Is there a way to get there, though? Or will we have to jump around? Yeah, I don't think I ever saw this. This could be new stuff to me. The graveyard, remember your... Okay, so that was built for the burial, as a burial site. I've got a wall over there, which I'm guessing was to be someone else's build. And this granite path takes us up to this build here. Again, no idea who did it. As I said, I probably knew about only a third of the people that ever came on the server. Because as I said, friends invited friends, and friends of friends invited friends. Mr. Lagalot's tower is still there. It's still towers above all. It's actually a nice world, to be fair. Lots of different biomes. It's almost like I'm looking at what could have been had the SMP gone a bit longer, but you know, survival's not for everyone. Right, let's not bother MLGing because it's overrated, and I think we should move on. So we've seen a bit of this world, got a good idea of what it was like. So I showed off my Survival Island world earlier. This was my super flat world, or not my super flat world, but a super flat world I was a part of. This was Flatlands SMP that Zedger and I took part in, or not took part in, but we played on between, it was like late 2016 to early 2017, I feel. It was a good while. Part of the challenge of this world was having to grind. It was very, very grindy at first, but as you can see, we did end up getting a lot of stuff. It was a classic super flat world, so there won't be slime and things like that. But the point is, if we... Oh, wait, that's the cows. Is there any food? Oh, there is. Nice. Right, anyway, so if you dig down, you will eventually get to bedrock. And we don't actually need to dig down because we can just go down here. And as you can see, we've got bedrock right here. This is Y1. So we were thinking about doing it on a custom super flat world, but the reason we didn't was because we thought this would be more of a challenge. Because like on the custom super flat worlds, you often got a lot of items. Like on the custom plains one, there was trees, there was sugarcane, there was sand. I think there was all sorts of stuff. 39. That's a sad and sorry sight. But we got a lot done. If we go over here, this is the animal enclosure. We got horses. One of those horses is very, very slow. Loads of pink sheep. No doubt some of them will have been dyed. But maybe some weren't. Maybe some were legit. This was one of Zedger's builds. And he actually built a path, as you can see over here, a path that goes all the way to whatever that is over there. Well, I know what that is, that's a village. But yeah, basically, that's something Zedger did. He did up the village in that. I would go and look at it, but we don't have an awful lot of time, do we? This was a tree farm I did. Zedger did an auto crop farm there. He also built the storage room. This was for potions. One of the biggest issues was knowing what to do with gunpowder. Like, the only things you can do with gunpowder are Oh, we had cool names for everything as well. That was the rig, because it looked like a kind of like an oil rig out in the middle of the sea, although this is just a small puddle really. And there was villagers on top of that. That's the villager breeding area. That was the compound, because it's like, you know, a compound area where you would stay, you would, you know, that sort of a thing. There's the mob farm up there. That's not a cool name, that's just the descriptive name of what that is. 1.12 was the last version we played this in, and as you can see, we are in 1.12. So yeah, where's our... do we have a diamond count? Hey, 10 diamonds, not bad. I don't think we used any dupe glitch either, so, dupe glitches. We never used any duplication glitches, so this was all got legit, as far as I'm aware. We've spoken briefly about possibly doing a season 2 or whatever. I know, well, when I say briefly spoken, it's just a few messages and all that. But I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't want to start again just because of how much we've done. If I was to start again, I'd rather just start in this world and go from where we are. But also lack of time, and that doesn't just go for Flatlands, but also recently, for some reason, a lot of people have been asking me about joining an SMP or whatever, and it's really cool that so many SMPs are being made and all that, but I just don't have the time. You know, I don't even have the time for Cakecore SMP, which I'm a part of at the minute. So this is the spawn area. We added a moat to keep the slime out, because slime are obviously a big problem in Classic Super Flat. But yeah, this is it for the world. We've got another portal, got chests in case we died, filled with stuff that we could take back. Look at all those enchanted bows, actually. They all came from fishing. I was about to say, did they come from skeletons? But anyway, yeah. This was Super Flat, or not Super Flat. That's the name of the world file. Flatlands SMP. It's been a good visit. So, to end off the video, I'm in my journal world. It is still in 1.13. I am aware that at time of recording, 1.14 has come out, and so I'm looking to upgrade to that as soon as possible. But as I said, I've been playing a lot in my journey world of late. It's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying that. I'm going to keep doing that until I feel like heading back to, you know, trying out the new update. I know that's maybe a wee bit, I don't know, a wee bit weird or whatever, that I'm not, you know, at least trying the new update. So I don't like the new update. I'm just, as I said, enjoying beta at the moment. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, this is where we shall finish the video. This world, to be honest, is the culmination of all the worlds you've just seen. Well, not the culmination of all of them, but most of them. You know, most of them had things that you see in this world. Like, for example, the city I've tried in a lot of other worlds, but never quite done it. You know, this was the pinnacle of survival Minecraft for me. Even though a lot of the buildings look like absolute trash, this was the the pinnacle in terms of what I could do and what I achieved after a long period of time. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to have to word the video carefully, because at the moment the title's something like 10 years of Minecraft, which implies that I've been playing it for 10 years, which is not the case. I've only been playing it for 8 years now, about 7.5, 8 years. So yeah, that's not the case. But the point is, on the 10th anniversary of Minecraft, it's nice to kind of look back at some of my older worlds, and well, look forward for what's to come. You know, I still enjoy the survival aspect of this game, which is, it's interesting, because I'm not saying everyone who has ever played survival's like given up on it, but you find a lot of people, they play it for a bit and then, you know, they move on to PvP or 2b2t or making videos on servers or whatever. But you know, I still enjoy the game for its core survival aspect. So yeah, you never know, there might be more to come. I'm trying to get away from massive builds like this though. My days of massive builds are over, hopefully. Maybe not. You never know. Anyway, thank you very much for checking out this video. I may do an RSG server tour at some point in future, because I didn't really think about it, but when I arrived on the server I realised the scale of it was just too big to show in this video. But I showed the kind of spawn village kind of thing, so hopefully that was sufficient for something of this nature. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you, and I will see you another time. Bye for now.